Well, as a parent, our #1 priority is to keep our children safe. And for one Houston community, that mission was threatened when a known child predator not listed on the sex offender registry allegedly targeted a child. This man right here, 76-year-old Calvin Morris, was arrested for inappropriately touching a child last year. Morris was supposed to appear in court today, but it was rescheduled to February 24th. Now, court officials did not disclose why it got pushed back. And tonight, KPRC2's Zach Lashway explains how Morris was able to live next to a school for almost 30 years and what you need to know to better protect your child.
Sterling Green is a small Channelview neighborhood off Wallaceville Road behind Anthony Aguirre High School. How do you describe this neighborhood?
Very quiet.
Alex Cardenas has called this community home for more than 20 years.
But I feel like everybody keeps to themselves. Nobody is in each other's business.
And perhaps this is why she was unaware her neighbor, Calvin Morris, was arrested for indecency with a child.
Younger families are moving here and they have kids, and that's very alarming.
This corner just feet away from that house serves as a bus stop for students living in this neighborhood. On the backside of his house, a school. What's scarier, this isn't Morris's first offense. Court records show he was arrested and convicted in 1974 for fondling a child, a sex offense that got him 5 years probation. 8 years later, in 1982, Morris was arrested and convicted again for sexual abuse of a child. This time, he was sentenced to 2 years in prison. According to Rania Menkarius, CEO of Crime Stoppers Houston, sex offenders who complete their sentence and are no longer on parole or probation face no legal restrictions on where they can live.
With the laws as they are, did Mr. Morris break any rules?
Not as they stand. He was sentenced in the 80s. He served 2 years. He was on the sexual registry offender list for 10 years. But from what we know, as soon as that came to an end, he moved near a school, which he had every right to do.
Residential restrictions apply only to offenders on paper, meaning those under supervision like parole or probation. Under Texas law, sex offenders are required to register for 10 years or life, depending on the severity of their conviction, and registration begins only after the sentence is complete. So, if Morris registered after his 1982 sentence, his registration requirement would have ended in 1994.
I spoke to a former state rep about strengthening laws to protect children in Texas. I asked him, could Texas do a better job at protecting children? He says the state can. I have that conversation up on clicktohouston.com. Now, as for Morris, he remains behind bars. His next court appearance is scheduled for later this month. I'm Zach Lashway, KPRC2 News.